Where has she been? Where has she been? She has been deleting every single YouTube video that she has filmed and edited because she hated the way she looked. And also, I kind of maybe might have dropped my camera. And I think I messed up the lens somehow because it was like having trouble focusing. So I don't know if that's still currently the case. Not sure. I guess we'll find out once I'm editing this. But like actually genuinely I needed a moment. I had no creative juices. I was hating everything that I was filming and making, and also I would love to be a content creator full time. Like I think it would be so fun, and I think that if I really honed in I could do it. But there's always a little part of me that's like, even if you honed in, your depression and anxiety and like moments of just completely isolating yourself are gonna ruin it for you. And I'm feeling that so bad because I wanted to film, I wanted to edit, I wanted to put something out for you, but my body literally was like, girl, you suck. And I was like, sometimes your mind is just like your biggest enemy, truly. And that's how mine was. Is my elbow ashy? I haven't lotioned it in like 3 days. I asked on my Instagram while I was in right before I got into this like really disgusting creative slump. I asked on my Instagram stories for you guys to give me bookish hot takes. I said that I would do a video about like whether I agreed or disagreed with them. And I know while some of you guys are putting in those hot takes, it was probably the closest thing to therapy you've had in a really long time, because you guys are putting exclamation points, all caps. I know it released something in you doing those hot takes, and I'm glad I could be that outlet for you. These are hot takes, so they're going to be controversial, ruffle a little feathers potentially, but it's all in good fun. All in good fun. It's going to be exciting. I think that I need a little drama. You know, life has just not been dramatic enough, I think, and I could use just a little bit of drama. So here we are. Thank you guys for supplying that, and also you're welcome for this video in advance. If you just want to go ahead and like and subscribe now, just go ahead and do yourself a favor and do that. But otherwise, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Yes, let's in fact get into it. There were a lot of hot takes from you guys, so this is actually just going to be part 1, and then we're going to do another part 2 if you guys enjoyed this. For now, it is already 9:37 p.m. I like to sleep. I do enjoy it. So we're gonna have to clock out at some point. So this is just part 1. I can't find the hot takes you guys gave me. I've seemed to misplace the screenshot. I did not like Legendborn. Also, I feel like black fantasy books always involve blood in the title. Okay, there's two things here. I feel like we should address the black fantasy books always having blood in the title first. I have so many of those over here. Genuinely, let me get all of them together. Wait, this is so fun. It's like a scavenger hunt. Blood in the Root by Ladarian Williams. Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. Blood Scion by Deborah Falale. I didn't pronounce that right. Deborah Fale. Forged by Blood by Agabor Oakson. You are correct. Truly. And then to talk about Legendborn, I do have Legendborn over there as well, but I had to bring over Bloodmarked by Tracy Dion because you talked about black fantasy books all having the word blood in them. So I do agree with that hot take. That was actually really funny. Legendborn. Okay, let us all remember when I said that this was going to be controversial and that this was going to ruffle a few feathers. Let us all sit in silence together for a second and just remember when I said that. I did not like Legendborn when I first read it, and it's still not one of the books that I'm like, oh my god. You know what I mean? It's not one of my books that I pick up and often immediately recommend to people. Like, I'm not obsessed with Legendborn. I'm excited about the third one, but I'm not like fiending over it. Like, I don't really feel super duper connected to all the characters, which is kind of insane because for most black readers, Legendborn is like the fantasy book. I didn't love it. I liked it, didn't love it. I gave it like 4.5, 4 stars for Legendborn, I think, at like 4 stars. Okay. 4 stars for Legendborn and like 4.5 stars for Bloodmarked. It was a good book. Like, it wasn't a bad book, and I did enjoy it. It's just not something that I'm like, this is my entire heart and soul. You know what I mean? So I can understand you potentially not liking it. I completely get it. And I also understand how that is a hot take. How that's not just like a negative feeling about a book. It's like, it's a hot take. Because in the black community, black reading community, that book is mother. It is mother. So I get that. I get why you'd want to stay anonymous after giving that information. A lot of book influencers care more about money and fame than other human beings. I think this is less a hot take and more of a hard truth just about humans in general. I think a lot of humans care more about money than other human beings. I also think that books are inherently political and reading is inherently political, but this last year has been a very politics charged year, and a lot of people have been bringing it into the book space because it's been life or death. I haven't been a part of the book space for that long, so anyone who has been a part of it longer will probably be able to understand this or explain it a little better, but I don't think it was as politically charged before, a year or so before. So I think now you're seeing who is willing to give up their platform to talk about politics and who's not. But also you have to remember, which I didn't remember when I first started being an activist and started practicing activism, I guess, was that other people have other stakes and we want everyone to care as deeply about something as we do, and sometimes people just don't hold that same amount of empathy. But there could also be other factors, they live off of this, this is their job. They don't just live in their mom's house. I live in my mom's house. There's a lot that I can do that other people who this is their entire income can't do. Some people may be legally bound by contracts, so I'm not going to say a lot of book influencers feel that way, but I also think BookTok has been so rooted in just white stories for a very long time, especially as mainstream wise. This may be a hot take, but among people of color it's not. White people aren't extremely empathetic. They just aren't, because they haven't had to face as much oppression and as much strife because of the color of their skin. They hold a level of privilege in the world. A lot of white people have faced oppression and have faced, struggles being you're white first. And I think that the level of empathy that you need to be able to really feel for what's been happening in the last year is a level of empathy that a lot of white people are just learning of, or they're having to give up their privileges to have. So that does kind of bleed into the bookish space as well. That's my thoughts on that. I know that was a lot. Hot takes or political takes? Is there a difference? I don't know. That was a lot. I'm sorry, but I'm also not sorry. We need to talk about it. I'm glad you said that. Moving on. Ship wars are stupid. Who cares who you ship? The only thing that matters is what the author decides. I agree, kind of. I agree that arguing over who should have been together in a book where the author has already decided who should be together, unnecessary. I just think it's never gonna happen because it's a world the author made up. So they are going to decide who ends up together in the world that they made up. However, when the author doesn't end up making these two people get together, the person maybe doesn't end up with anybody, I think the tension while the show is ongoing of seeing all the little tidbits with the characters is kind of cute. I do really enjoy that because I think that makes most people keep watching the show. It's just the tension of your ideal ship. Zutara and Zutang. No, what am I saying? Zutang. No, not the throuple. Zutara and Katang. Is that what their ship name is? I like Katara and Aang personally. I think Zutara, Zuko and Katara, people want Katara to fix Zuko or be something that's healing Zuko, and people think that she needs Zuko to understand her vengeance part of her, but I think Aang can understand that because he lost his entire people, literally everyone. I think Zuko and Katara, we don't need a trauma bond. I think they would be so toxic for each other, but that's neither here nor there because Katara ended up with Aang, so it doesn't even matter. Arguing to the death for a ship war, I think it is stupid. I agree with you, but I think ships in general, cute and fun and kind of quirky, you know what I mean? AI fan art should be made illegal. It's weird. I agree. I think that unless the author is commissioning the art from an unless the author is commissioning the art from an artist, or the author goes and gets AI art themselves, I think other people grabbing AI art of a book that they read is weird, because it's you're putting your own interpretation on what the characters look like that the author has described to you. It's especially weird if the author's giving you art already and then you go and get AI art. It's more of your idea what the characters should look like, especially when it's whitewashing them. She's getting political again. Here she goes. Here she goes. Especially if it's whitewashing them, like that's no fun. No one likes that. I mean, some people like that, but like you shouldn't be doing that. And that's what AI does a lot, because AI is representative of whoever created the algorithm, like whoever programmed the AI. AI is like reminiscent of whoever's programmed it. So like whatever biases they have, it seeps into the AI. A lot of AIs are whitewashing, or they make the character skinnier or curvier or shorter or taller, whatever. They like put their own spin from their own biases onto the AI art. And I just think AI in general, a little creepy scary. I try not to use AI as much as possible. Like, I know it's very hard in this society. Like, a lot of what we do is AI. So many movies out there about robots taking over the world and AI and being like hyper intelligent, that why are we still doing this? You know what I mean? Like, why are we still doing this when we've created the proof of what will happen if we keep doing this? And I just think AI is getting a little out of control. I also saw this thing on TikTok the other day where it was like this author basically like had AI write a part of her book, and AI just took it from another book and like reworded it and then put it in her book. And I'm like, y'all see? Because that's crazy. AI isn't just like omnipotent. Wasn't that the word I'm looking for? Powerful, like godly. It's like taking information from other things in order to give you what you're asking for. I agree. Hockey romance need to be stopped immediately unless the author played hockey. This is hot, okay? Hot take. I disagree. Here's why I disagree. I think most people go into hockey romances not for the hockey. I think most people go into hockey romances for like the like gruff ultra masculineness that is hockey players, and just like watching men exude those attributes. There is knowledge of hockey in there that's like cool, but there's very little hockey romances that I've read where they're actually explaining hockey lingo outside of the positions that the characters play. I also read a baseball romance. My only qualm with it, I really enjoyed it, but my only qualm with it was just too much baseball jargon. Like, I found myself skipping full pages because it was just full of baseball jargon. And I was like, I genuinely don't need this to, like, understand the romance between the characters. I thought it was a little bit too much. So I think hockey, or, like, the accuracy of hockey is not really what hockey romances are meant for or what they're meant to do. So I have to disagree. I think if you're really into hockey, though, you'll be like, that's kind of crazy. They would literally never do that. That's also how I feel about basketball romances, where like every single person in a basketball romance is white, and it's like, that's kind of crazy. Also football romances and they're all white, and I'm like, that's also kind of crazy, because like these are very like black male dominated sports and they're all white. Look at her getting political again. I know. Stop, period, tagging, period, your, period, fan cast, period, in all caps. I agree. Stop bringing real people into your fantasies. I mean, it's okay to have those fantasies by yourself, or to make some kind of video and be like, this person is who I imagine here, this person who I imagine here. Like, I get it. As long as they're like celebrities, I think celebrities, it's like, do that with, because they're like in the public eye. But like normal regular people on TikTok is actually genuinely crazy, like commenting on their things and be like, you look like this character. I think that's weird. And also, don't tag them in those videos where you're like, I think this person would be perfect for this. And it's weird. It's like, and then it's like crossing the lines, and it's like forcing them into a cosplay. And what if they didn't like that book? What if they have read that book of their own like time, their own volition, and they did not like it, but they keep being tagged in the fan cast saying that they're one of the characters in the book? And what if the character they're being tagged as was their worst, like their most hated character? Then what? What kind of torture are you implementing on these people? That is criminal. Vile. Rude. And I thought we learned our lesson after the whole Kiera Lewis stuff, but we obviously didn't. I saw this TikToker the other day who was like, I'm really into dark romances because I like the Menendez brothers, or I like the Menendez brothers because I'm into dark romance. Something like not okay to say. And then she had to come on here and be like, it was a joke. And I'm like, you see, you don't even understand how you cross that line. You don't even understand how that like shouldn't be a joke. And that's why we need to leave real people out of these fantasies that we're having. I don't think it's safe, and I don't think it's cool. Stop, period, tagging, period, your, period, fan casts, period. Sera agrees, period. Sprayed edges are getting overdone. Half the time they're just ugly. Parentheses, Bramble books with the eye emoji that's like, close parenthesis. What did Bramble books do? Personally, I agree, but only if it's like not a cool sprayed edge, right? So like this sprayed edge, I hate. Why is it just one color? If it's just gonna be one color, honestly, just keep it white. Spraying it all one color is so unnecessary and it never looks good. I literally never like the look of it. Now, if there's some kind of pattern on it like this, I think that this is a cool pattern to have on a book. Like, I think that this sprayed edge was done well. It's like not overly dramatic. It's kind of just like there, existing in its own self. I really enjoy. Now, if you're gonna spray an edge book and you want it to be not simple, do something cool like this, okay? No, because this is everything. This is everything. This is everything. Either be lazy and be completely lazy, as in don't do it, or be simple and make it just like chill, or go all in. You have to choose. But just spraying it one color, that's just lazy. Oh, see? Yeah, they do one color. I'm giving Bramble Books this emoji too. Yeah, because that's gross. I don't like that. There's one here that's not just one plain color, but the rest of these, oh my god, I can't. I'm done. I can't. I'm actually done. If in Spice the girl's hand can't fit, we'll do that one next time. It's just a little too quiet in my house for me to do that right now. We'll do that next time. There's no need for a book to be over 500 pages. If so, it needs to be a series or edited. I disagree, okay? I think that, if it's more than, okay, hold on. There are certain instances where a book that is more than 500 pages should exist. And I think it's like epic fantasies or like fantasy books. I agree. And it's crazy because it's like 3 books in the epic fantasy series and they're all over 500 pages, but it works if you listen to it. I cannot read physically a book that's more than 500 pages. I can listen to one, and then I can also read on my like Kindle, because I feel like ebooks just move so much quicker than normal books anyways. And you're just like flipping and you don't know what's like how many pages it is. So I'm gonna have to disagree with this one. I think you can get more chunk of the story in it if it's more than 500 pages. But I think it only works for fantasy. I think romance books, the only one who has been able to do it has been Mariana Zapata, but I don't really read her anymore. I think it's literally only fantasy books. Romance books that are more than 500 pages don't make sense to me. Like, if it's a standalone and it's one, I don't understand that unless it's Mariana Zapata. Like, she did do that well, but I don't get that. So I agree, and I also disagree. But yeah, I'm tired now. I would like to take my ashwagandha gummies and knock out. So that's what I'm gonna do. And if you guys enjoy this, if you like and you comment, you're like, oh my god, give me a part 2, I will do a part 2. I have more. Even if you guys don't like it, if I feel like doing it, I'll do it. So there's that. I think if I post this, I'm out of my slump and you guys will start seeing regular content from me again. Hopefully, fingers crossed. If that's the case, I will see you guys in the next video.